In this video, we are going to see a vulnerability that was reported in Angular source code, and the name of that vulnerability is cve-2025-66035. It was reported few days back only. Today is 1st December, and let me show you when it was reported. So this was reported 4 days back, and the same day, very same day, it was fixed also. So you can see. So Angular was actually sending the this xsrf token when the protocol started with slash slash. It actually should have protected that from happening for any URL that has HTTP prefix, HTTPS prefix, or this slash slash. Actually, all these three. But instead, it was just focusing on these two, and that's how any URL configured with slash slash was getting that XSRF token. It is actually meant for all relative URLs. So if there is a slash API path for your own application that it goes to your own domain, there Angular should attach this token, but not to these paths or even starting with this one. So we'll see how the fix was made in Angular source code. But before that, let me show some demo code that we can test to see how it actually works. But this is after the fix. So right now I'm having Angular 19 version, and this has the fix. So I have a basic code where there are three functions. One is making a post call to HTTP localhost 3009. My UI is running on 4200, and this is our attacker server, localhost 4200. So I'm calling this one, making a post call, but actually this is a third party website, you can say, not attacker, that should not receive your XSR token. That is the only goal. You are making this call as a part of some calls, maybe you are dependent on their API. So we are making that call, but you will not want to pass your XSRF token to these endpoints. So this is one way of calling. This is another way of calling slash slash and localhost 3009. And this is the third. This is our safe URL. So in this one, we expect Angular to attach the XSRF token because this is a relative path. Yeah, and for the simplicity of this demonstration, even this goes to localhost 3009, but that I'm doing using the proxy configuration. But actually, if we didn't have the proxy.conf.json, it would have gone to your own server to this path, the same localhost 420 domain and this path. But since I have proxy.conf.json, it will be going to same localhost 3009 with that API path. But this is only for simplicity. Even this proxy.conf.json, this is controlled by you only, so you will only be able to provide a domain that you trust. And my backend, this is my backend server, this is express, just has two paths. This slash for mimicking the attacker domain, and this one is for mimicking our own domain. So let's begin testing, and in the HTML we just have the three button to test those three functions. So let me go to this one, localhost 4200. Let me bring it to the site so we'll be able to see it parallelly. So on the left hand side our UI is running, on the right hand side we have our backend, the attacker server. So first I'm trying posting to self domain. So when I did the self domain, you can see Angular attached this XSRF token here. Okay, now let's try the same domain with this path. Post without slash slash. I'm making a post call without slash slash, and you can see this is what the server received, and there is no XSRF token. In the first call, we had the XSRF token attached by Angular, but in this one, there is no such thing happening. Now let's try post with slash slash. So even this one now does not attach as it. Only to self domain it is attaching. But the bug was previously even this one post with slash slash, here also it was attaching this XSRF token. Now coming to the fix, you can Google Angular source code and you'll be landing up in this page, github.com/angular/angular. We'll see recent few days back pull request. Control F, XSRF. So you can see this is an XSRF related merge request or PR. This is done by Alan Agues 4, and currently this is in action review, but that one is fixed. So this is probably some follow-up fix is doing, but we need to see only the merged one. So this is in is open filter is merged. So these are merged one. Here also we can find three are there. I have reviewed them previously. Basically, all three are having the same. Not sure why it is showing as three merge request. This is merged. If I just go to this one and files changed, we can see now they are adding a regex. Earlier they were just checking starts with HTTPS or HTTP for considering them as absolute URL, but now they are replacing it with an absolute URL regex. This one, and I have a sample HTML that tests this regex. So this is the test.html. Here different endpoints are there, and for each of them it is coloring green or orange based on whether this regex is matching or not. So if I go to that HTML's output, this is what it shows. So Google without HTTP is orange. Okay, so Google without HTTP, if I try to click it, it's not actually going to google.com. It is actually adding slash, so it is kind of a relative URL relative to your domain. So this is fine. Even this slash test is showing orange. Actually, the slash all with slash beginning with slash is in green. Even test2 with slash or Google with slash beginning, both are in green. So now both are coming as green with this new regex. So that's how they are fixing. This slash actually mean whatever is the current protocol to that attach this domain. Okay, but it always treats this as domain, not a file or path. So for example, this slash test2.html, it will not go to this test2.html that I have here by attaching file protocol if I'm opening it as a file protocol, because this treats whatever comes after slash as a domain. So this will work, but this test2.html will not work. For example, if I click on this slash test2, this will fail. But if I do slash google.com, it uses the current protocol HTTPS and goes to www.google.com. Now if I see the same HTML, if I open as a file protocol, this is the one test, even that slash google.com will not work because it's not hosted in our file domain. So if I try Google, this one, you can see it is trying to open as a file protocol and it fails. So yeah, this was it. Basically, this fix is now covering all three scenarios. So now, as you saw in the Angular application, it is not sending this xsrf token because now it is not just checking for http colon slash and http slash, but any URL starting with double slash as well. So now we are protected. I was trying to create a demo where we can see this one, but looks like although even the smaller versions are also patched, I was not able to do that. But yeah, this is a good thing to try out. And for the token, actually, the token that you are seeing in this backend that it was receiving, this XSRF, it is not something that Angular does by default. You will have to do some configuration in an Angular application for it to work. Let me show you those. So if I go to the Angular code, so here in ng on init, I'm setting the document.cookie with this value test xsrf and the date.now. And for Angular to put this in the request in our current domain, we have to do this one. When we are adding this provide HTTP client in the providers list, we have to also provide with xsrf configuration and cookie name this one, header name this one. So this cookie that you are setting, it copies to this header when the request is going to your domain. So yeah, that's it for this demo. Thanks for watching.